Welcome everyone to the September 19th Tour App Study Update webinar. We are going to be going through some of the basics of where the Tour App Study started and where we are now so that people can get involved, because there's some really cool stuff going on in the world of tours and activities. And I'm really excited. We've got a handful of people on our call today, so we've got some good opportunity for questions and answers and such like that. So to begin with, I want to just go through some of the background of where this started. We are doing research into the booking and reservation applications that serve the tours and activities industry. So why is this important? I want to make sure I didn't skip a slide. Nope, I didn't. Okay, we're good. Why is this important? The world is being disrupted by evolving technology, and the tourism industry is no exception to that. There's a lot of new technology coming out for every industry, including the accounting industry, and there's some good opportunities to save everyone a lot of time and money and frustration. And I want to show you how you can leverage some of these tools to use in your businesses and make it so that it's not a total pain, because you don't want to have to become a software expert to be able to use the software, in the same way that you shouldn't have to know exactly how an airplane operates in order to be able to ride on the plane. So we're going to try to make it easy for you. There are a lot of new emerging applications to choose from in the tours and activities industry, and a lot of the business owners in our industry don't really have the time or interest to research them all. So we've got your backs. What we're doing about it is we are launching a research study to build a side-by-side comparison of the various booking and reservation software applications. And this kind of started just with our clients here at Polymath. We were looking into the different software applications that might be a good fit for them. And then we discovered that there are 150 different booking and software applications for the tours and activities industry to choose from. And it's just too many. There's just too many to choose from really effectively. So we want to help you determine which apps might be the best fit for the needs of your unique business. Develop educational support for the tour business owners who are trying to navigate this evolving technology landscape, and create a support network for tour entrepreneurs to discuss these important ideas. So some things that we know starting out as we're getting into this: the world is moving to the cloud, and this is particularly important for tour companies because guess what? You travel. The last thing that you want at this point in our world of advancing technology is to have a piece of software that is downloaded on your computer that you then can't collaborate with other members of your team. As a tour entrepreneur, you need to be able to delegate things, and that is really important. And we're going to get into that a little bit more with some of our favorite app choices, not necessarily with the booking and reservations, but with the accounting. We really like QuickBooks Online. It's a fantastic choice for an accounting platform, and there are quite a few apps out there, booking and reservations, that can integrate with it. So as far as the booking reservations, more and more people are booking online, and that can pose opportunities to both gain and lose revenue. You can get more bookings if you've got a solution on your website for people to book online, and sometimes the online travel agencies, those kinds of things, when they're taking their cut, can pose some opportunities for revenue loss. So we want to make sure that you have a good handle on what's working and what's not. What is the cost-benefit analysis of each of these choices so that you can make educated business decisions? One big piece of that cost-benefit analysis to think about is your internal workflows and data management. How much time are you spending manually putting information into a system? Because if you are doing any manual data entry, wouldn't you rather be out on tour with your customers? You've got better and more fun things to do. So we want to give you the opportunity to focus on those things, recognizing that artificial intelligence and a lot of these software applications and the way that they can talk to each other can automate those things for you. And a lot of tour operators just don't know where to start with this discussion or what they're missing. So that is why we're creating this opportunity, so that you can know where to start, you can know what you're missing, and you can make educated decisions. The important part here is that if you're kind of feeling a little trepidatious about all of this, resisting this change in the industry, resisting the technology is not going to make it stop. It's just going to leave you behind and make it so that another company who maybe serves your same clients might have better technology than you do, and they might be getting those bookings that you're missing online. So why is Polymath doing this? A little bit about us. Hi, everyone. I'm Ingrid Edstrom. I'm the Priestess of Profits at Polymath LLC. Yes, that is my actual title. Polymath is a bookkeeping and business strategy firm. We specialize in cultural and adventure tour companies and activities companies. So that can be everything from day tours, walking tours, wine tours, rafting outfitters, zip lines, all the way up through multi-day safari excursions in far-off countries. We love this industry. We started focusing on the tours industry because we love tour entrepreneurs. You are adventurous, curious, free spirits who deeply care about our world and the people in it. We love travel and business. Those two things are like chocolate and peanut butter to us. So in addition to that, we are also leaders in the accounting world, and especially in the areas of emerging technology and advancing positive change in the profession. And we wanted to apply those ideas to our client niche in the cultural adventure tours and activities industry. You can see on the bottom of the screen, there's a handful of awards. Believe it or not, I was recognized as one of the top 40 under 40 and one of the most powerful women in accounting by CPA Practice Advisor magazine, despite the fact that I am not a CPA. I am a self-taught bookkeeping professional, particularly focusing on business strategy. And it is because of fun things like this study that we've been getting recognition in the world of accounting. Accountants come to us to learn how to have more fun in their businesses. That picture in the upper corner there of the slide is me and my wonderful business partner. We have a YouTube channel called Ask a Bookkeeper where we do bookkeeping and business tutorial videos with puppets. We create a bunch of different educational things for free, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We are total nerds. We see a problem like this education vacuum in the tours industry, and it's like an itch that needs to be scratched. We're learning this stuff so that you don't have to. Nonetheless, we need your input so that we can make sure that we are asking and answering the right questions. And I noticed somebody put something in the chat. I'm going to check that really quick. Hilda says, woman power. Yes, thank you, Hilda. So on to the time has come. Like I said, we are moving to the cloud, and together we can embrace emerging technology for the profession, easing the way for fantastic business owners who help us see the world. Just as you, the tour operators, help to translate the language and navigate unfamiliar terrain when I'm traveling all over the world, we at Polymath can help to serve as a guide on this journey. So if you're feeling lost and confused, that is why we have a Facebook group where you can post your questions for free. And I know a lot of you probably heard about this webinar through the Facebook group, so you guys are on it. Good job. So in the cloud here, these are just a handful of the different software applications that you have to choose from. Like I said, there's 150. There's way too many to put on the screen right here. In the center here, you see I've got QuickBooks Online. And that is our favorite accounting platform. That is not the only cloud-based accounting platform. If you are using maybe Sage or Xero, those might be good solutions for you also. QuickBooks is my favorite video game. QuickBooks Online. At this point, if you're using QuickBooks Desktop, I highly recommend that you look into transitioning to QuickBooks Online. It's going to be a much more effective fit for your needs in the long term, and it makes it so that your team can collaborate with you from anywhere without having to risk data loss, those sorts of things. I also have a handful of our booking and reservation software applications up here, some of the ones that you are most likely to have heard of. Fair Harbor, Redzi, Resgo, Checkfront, Peak are a handful that I know we're going to be seeing at the Arrival Conference next week. I'm really excited. We're going to be speaking and teaching at the Arrival Conference. And then a couple of the other apps that I have up here are Transaction Pro Importer and Zapier. And those two apps are good to be aware of because they are ways that we can use to get our booking and reservation software to talk to our QuickBooks if they don't have a naturally integrated QuickBooks integration, if they aren't set up to automatically talk to QuickBooks. So for example, Checkfront has a ingrained QuickBooks and Xero integration. Checkfront talks to both of those softwares, whereas some of the other apps have maybe a Zapier integration, or they're able to export reports that we can then massage briefly in a spreadsheet and then import using Transaction Pro Importer into QuickBooks. So there's solutions there that make it so that you don't have to put all of the information into your QuickBooks by hand. You can get your booking or reservation software talking to your QuickBooks, and that's something that we want to help you with. So this project, the Tour App Study, and what we need your feedback on, we are developing a comprehensive list of features that tour companies need from their apps, recognizing that those needs will vary dramatically from company to company. There is not a one-size-fits-all option. So some of those varying needs include rental management capability, lodging management. When I say rental management, I mean like boats and ATVs, things like that, when you've got actual things that you are renting out to people. Lodging management, so where people are staying. Physical inventory and point of sale capability. If you are selling physical items like chips, t-shirts, and you need to keep track of how many larges and smalls you have so you know when to reorder and you know what your inventory value is, there are some apps that can do that and some that don't. Calendar features. Do you have calendar opportunities to be able to see which guides are scheduled when, what tours you have scheduled when? There's a lot of different calendar needs within a tours and activities company. And also integrations with other applications that we talked about. And the accounting side is just one integration. There's several other opportunities for integration with, say, a CRM, a customer resource manager or a customer relationship manager. Also, maybe a newsletter engine like MailChimp. So we want to work to include as many popular booking and reservation apps as possible in our study. And we are always going to be adding and updating this project as the industry and technology ecosystem continues to evolve. We have opened a can of worms that we're never going to get the lid back on. And that is okay, because this is a lot of nerdy fun for us. So as an outside party with no direct product affiliation, we can focus on creating this positive and educational relationship. We're Switzerland. None of the apps are paying us for anything. At some point down the line, we might have an advertising bar on the side of where we've got this displayed or something like that. But we're not going to do the thing where people can pay us to be higher on the list or anything like that. That's not how this is going to go. We want to create supportive partnerships with multiple solution providers that make it so that each of the tours and activities companies can find the best fit for their needs amongst all of these apps, and that it'll be easier for them to find the right one. So we're working to create a win-win-win for us and for you, the tours and activities companies, and for the software, so that the people knocking on their doors saying, hey, I want to try your app, they're kind of pre-qualified. So this is a good thing for everybody. You can get involved by joining the Cultural Adventure Tour Leaders Business Strategy Group on Facebook. The link for that is facebook.com/groups/tour strategy. And this is where we will be holding ongoing discussions about this study, sharing resources and posting updates on the project, which is why a lot of you are here today. The updates on this project, we've got some really, really fun updates to share with you. And if you want to participate in the next live discussion when the time comes, it will be posted on the Facebook group. We don't have a date or time for that right now. We're busy getting ready for the Arrival Conference. But I'm really excited to update you on where we are in the project. Registration for that meeting will be in the Facebook group. So be sure to join the Facebook group, and that will get you access to that as well as the replay. And also, please spread the word. Tour leaders are often on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So when you see the replay for this come out in the Facebook group, it'll be a YouTube link. Feel free to share that link on social media and tag other tour operators that you know of so that they can also receive this great information and learn about this resource. So post about this project, tag your colleagues, and if you have any questions or if any of your colleagues have any questions, feel free to do an email introduction to us at polymath@polymath.com. So with that, we're going to get into the tour app study itself. But before I open up the study, I want to just kind of fill in where we were last time we did an update call. We were searching for several months for the best fit of a database software in which to house the study. And we finally figured it out, and we've got the study up and rolling, and we are ready to collect data from the app providers. So our wonderful booking and reservation software solutions, we're ready to collect that information from you, and we are stoked to be doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where we are. Back to Chrome. So this is a program called Airtable, and many of you may already be familiar with Airtable. Airtable is an online cloud-based database program that actually has a really cool Google integration. If you're already using Google tools, you can install the Airtable app from directly within Google, which is great because I know we're a Google-based office. Our email, calendar, everything is in Google. So having this as a link within our Google Drive is really handy for us. And we have created the database within Airtable, and through that database created a questionnaire form that allows the software to fill in their own information. Now, we have had some people say, wait a second, if the software is filling in their own information, how is that fair? How do you verify? Well, a couple of things. One, we've worked really hard to make it so that all of the questions on this survey are completely objective. They are not value-based. So it's a simple, do you have a feature or don't you? Yes or no? And they can say, this is how we do this thing, and then let you, the tours and activities companies, determine if that's what you need for your company. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, is it a fit? So that's the first thing. The other thing is that it makes it so that we don't have to go through, before when we were keeping this study up in Smartsheet, it took us an hour and a half conversation with each of the reservation applications we talked to get their information populated. Now we've got apps coming back to us telling us that it took them 10 minutes to fill out this form. So that's going to save everyone a lot of time. And it also makes it so that as things change, because of course within each of these applications, there's going to be updates being made. They're going to be adding new features. We can make it so that through a Zapier integration, those apps can fill in their information without having to fill out the entire form again. They can just make an update to the single fields they want to update, and it will update in the original tour app study document. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. So with that, I want to show you the app questionnaire form. Thanks for participating in the Polymath tour app study. So a little bit of introduction kind of here. A lot of this is the basic stuff that we just went over in the PowerPoint. So we're working to collect the app name, URL, logo for the application. We want to get the name of the person filling out the form and their contact information in case we have any questions, as well as today's date so that we know when it was last updated. When did we last get updated information? And who's their target client? So a lot of the apps out there are working to kind of take all comers and serve all needs. And some of them may be doing it kind of effectively, and some of them may be doing it not quite effectively. And I know talking with some of our colleagues at some of these apps, they're really working to make sure that they're getting the right fit of clients, in initial conversation. And if those clients aren't the right fit for them, they'll send them on to another opportunity, another option. And that's part of what we're working to do here, is make that easier for the apps so that they don't have people coming to them that just aren't a good fit. And those people might leave slightly disappointed. We want to know how many tours activity businesses they currently have. We've got a couple of brand new apps in our list already. And of those tours and activities businesses, how many discrete listings do they have? Which of the services do they support? So tours, tickets for attractions, maybe flights, transportation, lodging, accommodation, rentals, and equipment. So a bunch of different options. And then does it have a customer database? Can people look through and see their different customers? And can they see what activities those customers have purchased? Does it have customer relationship management capabilities built in within the app? So you can see that a lot of these things are just yes, no. And then can customers do invoicing through their software. So can you actually send an invoice to your customers? There are a lot of features in here. And what I want to do is just finish going through this list with you so that you can see what features we have. And I encourage you, if you feel like we're missing anything, or if there's other questions that you have, post them in the chat. And that way we can see what we're missing. So can those invoices and forms be customized? Some apps can, some apps can't. Can you do invoicing in multiple currencies? Yes or no? And can you track deposits or multiple payments? Can you do bundles, packages, multiple activities per booking? Does your app have a waitlist tool? Does your app do abandoned bookings recovery? Does your app have tools to collect tour and activity reviews? So once again, just yes or no. Do you support smart reviews? And this one, when we say smart reviews, that one there was a little bit more education needed. So we've got a little sub here. This is a tool where customers are automatically emailed after their experience to ask for feedback. And if they select over a particular rating, then they get forwarded to a public review site to publish and share their positive experience. If they select under a particular rating, it prompts you, the tour provider, to get in touch with them to see how that experience can be improved. So you don't end up having unhappy customers that are, spreading bad juju about you in the background. TripAdvisor review integration. Does it support customer correspondence and text integration? Now, with the text integration, you can see the options are no, or yes native within the app, or yes third party. So there's different kinds of text integrations you can have. Same thing with email integrations. Does your program send automatic reminders to customers? Hey, don't forget, you're going on a tour tomorrow. If you stand us up, you don't get your money back. Does it include communication templates so that you don't have to create every single one of those communication templates by hand yourself? Does it have a third-party CRM integration? You can see here, this is an add-in option, so you can say which one. Does it do Zoho, Salesforce, a different one, or maybe several via Zapier integration, because there's quite a few CRMs that will communicate with Zapier. Does it support private tours or customer group management? Does it have a one ticket sells out feature to make a tour private? If somebody says, ooh, that boat, that's mine. I don't want anybody else on it besides my group. Do they have custom itinerary tools for things like safaris? Do they have waiver tools? Is there an additional charge for the waiver features in that program? And what's the pricing structure? Is it commission, fee-based, fixed fee, or can the customers choose between commission and fixed fee? Sometimes they have multiple options. Do they charge an initial setup fee? If yes, how much? If they're commission-based, what are their rates? Who pays the fees, the provider or the customer? And sometimes it's the business's choice. Business pays fees, customer pays fees, or the business can choose to pass those fees on to the customer or include them in their rates for the tour. Does the app company offer bookings through a call center? Some of these apps actually have a call center where they can take calls from your customers and set up your bookings. Do they charge additional fees for refunds or processing of refunds? Any additional fees for payouts or wire fees, fees for direct or manual bookings? So oftentimes, a lot of these apps, if there's a direct booking or a manual booking that you're inputting into the back end of the software, maybe somebody calls you on the phone and you put their information in manually, a lot of them don't bother charging for that because their software didn't actually originate the booking. If the software charges a flat fee, not commission, asking them to briefly describe their pricing structure. Do they offer a free trial? Is there a minimum contract term for the customers? And can the app do payment processing? Yes or no? Do they support gift cards or gift certificates? And sometimes it's both gift cards and gift certificates, depending on the needs of the software. And are those gift cards and gift certificates tracked property as a liability in the background of the accounting software? This is an important thing for us as bookkeepers, because if you have no idea how much you have walking around out there in gift cards or gift certificates that people have bought, you owe those people a tour. So that's a liability. That's something that you owe that person, and we need to know how much you've got walking around out there. You don't want to claim that as income until it's used. So those are important things to think about. What currencies does the software support? Hey, look, we've got a list of currencies, and then we also have any or all, because there are some softwares that are like, we can do them all. Payments integration. So is their payments integration internal, external, or choice? And what that means is, do you get to choose what merchant service provider you want to use, or is it through the app's specific merchant service provider and you have to use that one? Sometimes you get a choice between those things. And what credit card processors do they support? There's a whole list here, and sometimes they work with so many they'll just send us a list. So we're looking to receive a list from some people so that we can add more options to this. And credit card processing fees, so understanding what they charge for credit card processing, and how many business days does it take to get you your money after a transaction is processed? Do they support multiple payments from the same customer? So that's an important thing for a lot of companies out there. Do they support automated payment plans? So maybe a deposit followed by a set amount per month that it'll automatically charge the customer and give you a heads up if their credit card declines. That can be an important feature for some of you. Do they have ACH or e-check capability? So ACH stands for Automatic Clearinghouse, and it's a way to send money directly from bank account to bank account. And it's usually a lot less expensive than credit card fees. So that's a good thing to think about. Can they accept cash and credit card payments in person on the day of the tour? And how do they take those credit cards? So is it a plug-in with a swiper on the headphone jack? Is it Bluetooth? Is it chip compliant? So a lot of at this point, there's laws in place about chip compliance, and your company could be held liable if you're not using a chip-based reader. And some of these apps haven't caught up with that yet to where they integrate with a chip-based reader. So that might be important to some of you. And how many users with a unique login can this program support? Do you have more people on your team that needs to be able to log in to the back end of this application, such as your tour guides, or maybe your accounting professional who need access to the back end of this app? So some of them, it's one user per company. Others, it's unlimited. And it really just depends from application to application how much access there is for team members. And then for the multiple users, do they offer different levels of access for different users? If yes, is that limitation based on roles, or is there a menu of features for each business administrator to customize the access for each user? So we've got menu-based, role-based, or no, and doesn't matter, there's only one user. Can users be permitted or denied access to accounts receivables tools, or to tours and activity scheduling tools? Do you have guide scheduling tools, or individual calendars for each user? And do those calendars integrate with Google Calendar? Offering any affiliate agent concierge access. So this is something that's important to a lot of tours, especially in location. Maybe you have hotel affiliates and those kinds of things that are booking on your behalf. Being able to give them their own access to these tools, and also being able to track their commissions when they do these bookings for you. So all of this can be automated on your behalf. There are quite a few apps that do this for you, and we just need to know which ones. If that's important to you, great, find an app that'll help you with it. If that's not something that you do, then your app doesn't necessarily need to have those features. Does this software have a mobile app? And if yes, is it a native application that can be downloaded on your mobile device? Or is it a mobile view of the website? So we've got website view, native, or nope, we're not mobile. Does that mobile capability work for iPhone, iPad, Android? So there's different options for each of these. And does that app have offline capability to continue to process data and sync when the device returns to service range? This can be important for, say, a activity business that is checking people in using a mobile app and they're out of service range. So being able to access that data and check people in, get their waivers all established, and then, hey, it'll sync when you get back, that could be a really good thing. Does the mobile app have the ability to book tours and activities on site? Or does it offer check-in tools? Does it have mobile access to the waivers so you can make sure that everyone signed their waivers before getting on the zip line? Can they collect digital waiver signatures on site? So making it so that you're not handing out pieces of paper to your customers on site. You can hand them a pad and say, hey, read the waiver, sign here. Supporting multiple payment processing. So that's, mobile payment processing. Once again, that is being able to take payments through the mobile app. And how about mobile employee time clock? Believe it or not, yes, this is a thing. And if yes, does it have GPS tracking capability? So most of the apps that we've talked to so far do not have this. If they don't, there's a great app that we like to use called T-Sheets that does have these tools, and it may integrate with your program. It's worth looking into. One thing it definitely does integrate with is QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Online Payroll. So those are some things to think about. What tour reports are available from the mobile app? Is there a mobile calendar integration? Do they offer mobile communication or messaging tools within the app? Do you offer mobile dispatch or scheduling logistics such as guest pickups? Does the mobile app offer to-do or checklists? So this can be important for things like if you have a rafting company and there are certain things that you need to check on each boat to make sure that it's safe to go out on the next tour, making sure that there's a checklist so that each employee can sign off on, yep, I did the safety check, life jacket's okay, everything's fine. Does the software have time card features for employees to track time manually? Does it have payroll calculation tools? Some of them do. There are some, does it have software integration for payroll processing solutions? So maybe it integrates with another payroll software like Intuit Online Payroll or Gusto or something like that. Does it integrate with the business's existing website, or does the app host the business's website on their proprietary server? This is an important thing to think about as a tour and activity company. It's a good idea to make sure that whatever the case is, if you decide to go with another option at some point, you're not going to have to completely start from scratch and redo your website. So it's a good thing to really, really research and look into. Make sure that you own your data. That is a very, very important thing. You don't want to end up in a situation where you find out that somebody is actually owning your URL and all of your information. You need to own your data. Do they offer website effectiveness evaluations? Some do, that's why we have it in here. And some even offer website support services to help integrate the tools and even web development upgrades. So there are some applications that they'll get you set up in their application for you and do a lot of those setup pieces on your behalf so that you don't have to worry about it. Does the software integrate with QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online, Xero, MailChimp, Google Maps? Lots of integrations. There will be more added to this list as we go. Can the software run reports on transactions by payment type? So up here we're getting into integrations, now we're getting into reports. One thing I want to show you, some of these different integrations, there's no, or there's yes direct, yes Zapier, or yes some other way that we haven't discovered yet. As far as reports go, it's important to know whether a software can run a report by payment type, because that's one of the main reports that we use if we need to export data from that software to input using Transaction Pro. We need to know how was that money collected, how it got to the bank. So if it's by credit card, it's going to be batched in one way. If it was cash and check, then you probably took it to the bank manually or sent it in, something like that. So we need to know by payment type how those things came in. Can your software run a report on sales by team members? So if you have a sales team, recognizing how those sales team members are doing. Sometimes they're earning commissions. Can you do a report on upcoming revenue for bookings that are currently scheduled in the future so that you can see what's coming up? Running reports based on information collected from waivers. And can the software create custom reports? Some of them just have built-in reports, and this is what you get. Others, all fields in the database of the software can be used to create custom reports, and that's pretty cool. Can it export those reports to an Excel or CSV and table format? That's important if we're going to be exporting and importing manually. And what kinds of marketing reports do they offer? Do they have promo discount tracking, conversion rate reporting, pay-per-click tracking, pay-per-click tracking per tour? If somebody clicks other, we're going to ask them what we need to add to this list. And what affiliate management reports do they offer? Do they do commission reporting? Do they have wholesale accounts receivable? And does the software offer class tracking? So class tracking, I need to explain a little bit. Class tracking is a feature in QuickBooks. It's sometimes known as tags. It's a special way to flag or categorize transactions into groups for deeper reporting purposes. And it gets to be really handy for tours and activities companies because you might be tracking your tours by country, or you might be tracking your tours by what kind of tour it is, or you might be tracking things tour by tour. The important thing is that when you use class tracking in QuickBooks, you can see a profit and loss for each class. So say you're doing it for by tour, it makes it so that you can see how each tour is doing individually, and you can compare tour by tour, as well as comparing that tour to maybe that tour the previous year to see what's changed. It gives you more information so that you can make educated decisions. And then what travel sites or online travel agencies do you integrate with? Viator, TripAdvisor, Expedia, Get Your Guide, Google Trips, or others that we might need to add to the list. What pay-per-click and marketing analytics solutions? Google, Facebook, there might be others. Where else do you feature your clients' tours and activities? So some feature things on Groupon, daily deals, or they also might feature them on their own website. So I know that Peak is one where if you go to the Peak website, you can see their clients' tours on their website, which is really, really cool. Facebook integration, Twitter integration, Pinterest, Instagram, Yelp, lots of social media to get involved in. Do you offer calendar features in the software? And of those calendar features, can you filter those calendar views? Is there automatic calendar rollover? When a week or month ends, does it automatically advance the calendar? Do your calendars integrate with popular calendar tools such as Google, iCal, that kind of thing? Do the calendar tools support multi-day tours and activities? So this is something that we've really been looking into for our Safari clients. Some of them just don't. Some of them it'll show on the first day of the calendar and it will say what tour it is. But others show on each day for the duration of the tour, which can be really important to some companies. And some of them it is a preference. But think about it this way. If you have a calendar and your guide is scheduled for a tour and they're checking their calendar really quick to see, you know, oh, can I go to Uncle Larry's wedding on the 15th of September? And they just look at the 15th of September and it says that they're fine. Well, they're on a 2-week tour right then. They've been booked for a while, but they're not thinking of that right then. And it's only showing on the one day that the tour starts a week before that. Now they've double booked themselves. So sometimes having the multi-day tour shown every day of the duration of the tour is important for some people. Do they support inventory or resource management? So this can be seats on vehicles, capacity on tours, as well as physical boats and other resources that aren't for retail sale. And if they support both tours and rentals, does the software offer combined resource management for tours and rentals? So if you have X number of boats and you use this boat on a tour, does your rental software know that now it's not available for rent? Do they offer resource available calendars and reporting? So being able to see how much you have of resources available for different days. And resource management tools that integrate with the website content management tools for booking. So photos and descriptions of the physical resources that customers might need in order to book or reserve, as well as images and descriptions available for those tours and activities. Does the software support add-ons? So the ability to include physical items to purchase or have a single room reservation or other upsell tools on your website. Supporting specials or promotions. This is a feature that allows businesses to temporarily apply changes to some or all circumstances of a sale, including that, if there's a promotion going on, and then later remove those changes so that it goes back to normal, whatever normal might be. Do they support bundles, the ability to combine different offerings together into a single package? Does it give alerts for low or zero resources remaining? Does the software give alerts for the minimum booking of an activity when it's not reached? Do they have tools for guide scheduling if additional tours are added to the schedule? Do they support physical inventory accounting for retail products for sale? So this is another important thing. Like I mentioned before, this is if you're selling chips, t-shirts, that sort of thing. Does it track the inventory of those chips and t-shirts so that you know when to reorder? And if it does, maybe it's a third-party integration, does this retail inventory tool include a count of quantity for each item on hand? And this is important so that you know what the value is of your inventory. That's actually an important question year-end for tax purposes. So if you're not keeping track of your physical inventory, that's something you need to start looking at. Does the software manage vendor purchase orders for physical items? So there's some great options out there that actually do some of this. And does your product manage inventory asset valuation? So this is the quantity of an item on hand times the cost of that item for your business, not the retail value, but the cost, your cost. That gives you your inventory asset value that needs to be on your balance sheet report. And is this retail inventory tool SOX compliant? Those are some good things. If you don't know what that is, you probably don't need to know. Does your software have reporting tools for inventory evaluation for accounting and tax purposes? So being able to create a report, or even better, have it directly integrate with the accounting software, that would be great. Do you offer point of sale tools for in-person transactions? Can people purchase things in the moment? And do those point of sale tools have a cash drawer integration? Do you support walk-in bookings or barcode scanning? Does your software offer financial management tools to track deposits and payouts? Does it host escrow accounts for unearned income? Do you offer vendor payout tools for direct expenses related to different tours and activities? So sometimes some of these softwares will actually help you manage the money for a particular tour. If the software doesn't do that, we've got systems so that you can manage that in QuickBooks, so long as you've got all the information that you need. Does it support e-commerce? Do you have an online store where people can purchase stuff online, and does this software do that for you? Is it possible for a support professional, such as an accountant like me, to be added as a user to multiple company files in your software using a single login for access to all that might not be important to you, but it's actually really important to me? So, for example, we at Polymath have several clients on individual pieces of software. And for example, when I log in to Peak, I can just simply toggle between my different clients that use Peak, which is really, really handy for us as accountants. Do you have a referral or ambassador program? If yes, please describe your incentives. And could we get a demo account to play with in your software? So that's something that we like to do here at Polymath, is work within the different softwares so that we're not learning how to do it in our clients' books. So having a piece of their software to be able to play in is really, really handy. So then they can submit, and all of that information goes into this handy dandy database that we have separated out into different areas. So we can just see just the CRM pieces, that kind of thing. And at this point, we are really looking to get some more apps filling out this. We just launched this like a week ago, and we've been busy preparing for arrival. So thanks so much to GoDo and WeTravel for being on top of it and responding like that when we said, hey, will you fill this out? So you can see how easy it was for GoDo to go through and just fill in all of these different options. And we really, really appreciate them jumping on that. And same thing with WeTravel. WeTravel is a great application for safari companies and custom tours. So there's some really good stuff in there. And we're really, really looking forward to having some more people participating. And the next level of this is once we get some more data in here, we will be getting this information live for free on our website. We really want to create something similar to getapp.com. And I can show you kind of what that looks like. Getapp.com is a place where you can compare a whole lot of different applications. If I search for Peak, just as an example. So here's Peak Pro for tour operators. And you can see different options. And then down here it compares with FareHarbor, Zola, Booker Software, and others. The thing is that GetApp, since it's a program for just general apps, not solely for tours and activities, it's not comparing a lot of the features that you need specifically. So we want to create a comparison that makes it so that you can compare different softwares with the features that you want to see, rather than just the features that GetApp has. So that's what we're working to do. We still need to build this integration with our website, and that will hopefully be the next update that we have for you, is when we get that integration with our website launched and make it so that you can hop on and do it yourself. In the meantime, that's why we have the Facebook group. So if somebody's looking for a particular app, we can still answer your questions, get you pointed in the right direction, and it doesn't cost you anything. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions. So in the chat, Ted says, I need to jump on another call, but would like to touch base to complete your new database. Thank you, would love that, and would love to meet next week at Arrival. Looking forward to meeting you too, Ted. So yeah, I will, Ted, if you want to send me a private message with your email address, or you can email me at polymath@polymath.com. I can send you the link to the questionnaire form. We would love to get your information in here. That would be great. And for our other attendees on the call right now, Hilda and Mia, and Ambrose, and I need to look at the participants list and see if others joined us. It looks like that's the bulk of us. Let's see here. Ambrose, Hilda, Mia, Ted. Yep. So if any of you have any questions, I would be happy to promote you to panelist. Just let me know in the chat. Sounds like there's no questions so far. That's probably a good thing. It means maybe we answered all of them. So yeah, the plan is to get this launched on the website. Oh, good. Hilda says, I think you covered most of what we need in an application. Yes, glad to hear that. Mia says, this is really exciting. I don't have any questions, but I'm looking forward to the launch. Wonderful. And if there's anything that you're looking for in the meantime, Hilda, Mia, and Ambrose, if you want us to try to point you in the right direction toward an app or something like that, we're happy to help you. And you can post those questions in the Facebook group, and that way other people can get involved in the discussion. And quite a few of these app partners are also involved in the Facebook group. So you can ask them questions directly as well, so we can find you the right software. I was talking several months ago with a local zipline provider here in Southern Oregon, and she was telling me about how over the last 3 years, she's tried out 7 or 8 different software options, and she basically spent her entire off season for the last 3 years just researching software, trying to find one that would be a good fit for them. And at this point, the idea of shopping for software gives her anxiety. So we want to save you that experience. Ambrose says, thanks, I appreciate what you're doing. This is going to be great information. Wonderful. Well, it sounds like we kind of covered it for now. And there will be more updates in the Facebook group as we move along. And I'm looking forward to getting more app partners involved in completing our questionnaire, getting their information populated, so that once we get it up on the website, there's a good, healthy batch of apps that are ready to dive in and participate and help you get more bookings for your wonderful tour companies. So I want to thank each of you for being on the call today, and thank you so much for what you do. Your companies, the tours and activities companies, are what help us experience the world. And I really, really appreciate that. And I appreciate this opportunity to help you in your businesses. This is really kind of my life's purpose on this planet, is to help small businesses thrive. So thanks so much for being here today, and have a great day